There are moments in life when the world feels like it's collapsing on your shoulders, when people test your patience, betray your trust, or doubt your strength. And in those moments, the greatest weapon you can carry is the ability to act as if nothing touches you, nothing shakes you, nothing breaks you, because the truth is, life is a battlefield, and the ones who rise to the top are not those who complain, but those who stand tall with a straight face even when the storm is raging inside. When you walk through life acting unbothered, you are not ignoring pain. You are mastering it. You are telling the world, you cannot control me, you cannot destroy me, I am in charge of my emotions, my energy, my destiny. The more you act unbothered, the more powerful you become, because every attack loses its power the moment you refuse to react. This is how legends are built. This is how you command respect. And this is how you become untouchable. There comes a time in every person's life when the weight of the world pushes against their chest and it feels almost impossible to breathe. You face betrayal, disrespect, disappointment, and pressure that seems unbearable, and the instinct inside you wants to explode. You want to scream, to lash out, to let everyone know the pain you feel. But in those exact moments, the greatest strength you can ever develop is the ability to master your emotions and never let the world see you weak. Because weakness is not only about crying or losing control, it's about allowing others to dictate your state of mind. And the moment someone realizes they can control your emotions, they own a piece of your power. That is why true mastery begins with silence, composure, and the refusal to hand your strength to anyone who doesn't deserve it. Think about it. Every time you react with anger, every time you show your frustration, every time you expose your pain, you are giving free access to the deepest parts of yourself. You are putting your strength on the table and letting someone else play with it. People in this world will test you constantly, some intentionally, some out of ignorance. They will push your buttons, doubt your ability, and mock your struggles. If you explode every time, you are training them to believe you can be broken. But if you stand tall, if you breathe deeply and respond with calmness, you start to intimidate without ever lifting your voice. Your silence becomes louder than their insults. Your control becomes more powerful than their attack. And in that moment, you transform from being a victim of emotions into the master of them. Mastery of emotions does not mean you never feel pain, fear, or anger. It means you refuse to be controlled by them. It means you understand that emotions are natural, but reactions are a choice. A man or woman who reacts blindly is like a puppet, strings pulled by the world around them. But the one who chooses silence, patience, and calm, even in the face of chaos, becomes unstoppable. They walk into a room and people sense their presence because there is no chaos spilling from them, only control. And that control is intimidating because in a world full of people desperate to be heard, the one who doesn't need to prove anything already wins. The harsh truth is that nobody truly respects someone who cannot control themselves. Think about leaders, warriors, visionaries. Were they respected because they lost control? No, they earned respect because they stood like mountains unmoved by storms. They carried burdens without breaking down in public. They fought battles without letting the world see their doubts. People follow strength, and strength is built by emotional discipline. You may think venting your emotions shows authenticity, but in reality, it shows vulnerability to those who don't care about your pain. Never forget that half the world doesn't care about your problems, and the other half is secretly glad you have them. So why give them the satisfaction of watching you crumble? When you master your emotions, you gain something more valuable than money, status, or fame. You gain unshakable control of yourself. Imagine walking into situations where people are waiting to provoke you, and instead of reacting, you smile calmly and move forward. They expect you to argue, but you choose silence. They expect you to break, but you stand stronger. That ability disarms enemies faster than aggression ever could. No one can defeat a person who refuses to be ruled by impulse. And that is why emotional mastery is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. Life is going to throw things at you that are unfair, painful, and cruel. People you trust will betray you. Opportunities you worked for will vanish. Moments will come when you feel the urge to collapse. But in those times, remember this, your emotions are yours, and once you lose control of them, you are no longer living for yourself. You are living for the world's reactions. Every time you let anger rule you, You pay the price in relationships, opportunities, and even health. But every time you maintain control, you create space to think clearly, to make better decisions, to rise above the chaos. Emotional mastery is not only about appearing strong, it's about protecting your future. It takes discipline to master your emotions, discipline to pause when you want to shout, discipline to breathe when you want to fight, discipline to smile when you want to cry. It's not easy. Nothing powerful ever is, but it is worth it. Because once you build that control, you can walk into any environment, hostile or supportive, and remain the same person. Nobody can shake you, or nobody can manipulate you. Nobody can drag you down. People start to respect you, not just for what you do, but for who you are. And here's the secret. The more you master your emotions, the freer you become. Most people are slaves to their impulses, living in cycles of anger, sadness, and frustration that keep them trapped. But once you decide, I will not let my emotions rule me, you break those chains. You start living with clarity, focus, and strength. You become the type of person who can handle anything life throws at them. That is freedom. That is power. So the next time you feel anger rising in your chest, the next time you feel the sting of betrayal or the weight of fear, stop and remind yourself, the world must never see me weak. Not because weakness makes you human, it does, but because showing it gives away your strength to people who don't deserve it. Hold it in, channel it, transform it into energy, into fuel, into determination. Walk forward with your head high, your eyes calm, and your heart steady. Because the greatest warrior is not the one who fights the loudest. It is the one who controls the fire burning within. Master your emotions. Own them. Don't let them own you. Protect your strength. Carry yourself like a rock in the storm, like a lion in the jungle, like a king or queen who bows to no one's chaos. And remember, the world doesn't need to see your pain. It needs to see your power. That is how you win. That is how you rise. That is how you become untouchable. There will be moments in life when your blood boils, when every part of you is screaming to react, when someone disrespects you, insults you, or challenges you in a way that cuts deep. In those moments, you will feel an urge to fire back, to raise your voice, to prove your dominance. But the truth is this, control over your reactions is the ultimate form of strength. And silence, more often than not, is far more powerful than anger. Anyone can shout, anyone can throw fists, anyone can lose their temper. That is easy. But very few can stay calm in the heat of battle. Very few can remain composed when provoked. And very few can let silence do the talking. And those few people, the ones who don't give the enemy the reaction they are begging for, are the ones who always win in the end. Anger is like fire. It feels powerful in the moment, but it burns everything around you, including yourself. When you react in anger, you expose your lack of control. You show the other person exactly where to attack you, exactly how to get under your skin. They learn your weaknesses, they learn your triggers, and from that moment, you are no longer untouchable. But silence is different. Silence confuses them. Silence makes them question themselves. Silence makes them feel powerless because they cannot drag you into the chaos they are trying to create. When you choose silence over anger, you strip away their control. You show them that their words, their disrespect, and their negativity mean absolutely nothing to you. And that shakes people more than any outburst ever could. There's a saying, he who angers you conquers you. When you let someone provoke you into anger, you hand over your power willingly. You give them control over your emotions, your energy, and your decisions. And once you give away control, you lose. That's why the strongest leaders, the most respected warriors, the people who dominate their industries don't waste time in petty arguments. They don't scream back at insults. They don't react with rage. They stand tall, listen, and either respond with calm precision or walk away with complete silence. Their power comes not from loudness, but from control. Their silence is not weakness, it's a weapon. Imagine standing in front of someone who is trying to belittle you, waiting for you to snap, waiting for you to break. And instead of giving them the show they want, you look at them with calm eyes, unshaken, and refuse to react. That moment is devastating for them. They wanted power over you. They wanted to see you lose yourself. Instead, you gave them nothing. That nothing is heavier than any word you could ever say because silence is a mirror. It forces them to face themselves. And most people cannot stand their own reflection. Silence also gives you something anger never will. Time to think, time to process, time to decide the smartest move. When you react instantly with anger, you make choices that you often regret later. Words spoken in anger cut deeper than blades, and once they're out, you can never take them back. Fights started in anger destroy relationships, burn bridges, and sometimes even ruin lives. But when you pause, when you control your reaction and stay silent, you give yourself the chance to analyze the situation. You create space between the fire and your actions, and in that space lies wisdom. Wisdom that allows you to decide whether the situation even deserves your energy or whether silence is the ultimate victory. The world we live in thrives on reaction. Social media, gossip, and drama all exist because people cannot control their urge to respond. Every insult demands a clap back. Every rumor demands a defense. Every comment demands attention. But those who rise above it, those who refuse to react to every distraction, end up conserving their energy for what truly matters. They are the ones who build empires while others waste time in arguments. They are the ones who keep moving forward while others are stuck trying to prove themselves to people who don't even matter. Controlling your reactions doesn't just make you stronger in conflict, it makes you stronger in life. It is not silence alone that gives you power, but the discipline behind that silence. Discipline to hold your tongue when you want to lash out. Discipline to smile when you want to scream. Discipline to remain calm when you are provoked. This discipline separates the weak from the strong, the average from the exceptional. Anyone can act tough when things are easy, but only the truly powerful can remain composed in chaos. That's why silence is not just stronger than anger, it is the highest form of dominance. Understand this, the loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. The one screaming is often the most insecure. The one insulting is often the most threatened. And the one reacting in anger is always the one who has lost control. But the person who sits back quietly, who refuses to engage, who carries themselves with calm confidence, they are the ones everyone secretly fears because they are unpredictable. You cannot break someone who doesn't give you a reaction. You cannot control someone who refuses to be pulled into your game. That is why silence is terrifying to your enemies. It shows you are untouchable. Life will continue to throw provocations your way. People will disrespect you, challenge you, and try to drag you down. You cannot stop that. But what you can control is how you respond. You can decide not to waste your energy on meaningless battles. You can decide not to let your emotions sabotage your future. You can decide that your silence will speak louder than any words you could ever shout. And once you make that decision, you become unstoppable. There is unmatched strength in being calm when the world expects you to break. There is unmatched power in being silent when others want you to scream. And there is unmatched dominance in controlling your reactions while everyone else is slaves to theirs. Never forget, silence is not weakness, it is strategy. Silence is not submission, it is self-control. Silence is not emptiness, it is full of meaning. And the one who masters silence masters the battlefield of life. So the next time you are tested, the next time someone tries to provoke, you remember this truth. Silence will always echo louder than anger. It will always leave a stronger impression, and it will always remind the world that you are not just another person losing control, you are the one in control, and that is what makes you powerful. There is a rare kind of power that cannot be faked, a presence that cannot be bought, and a strength that cannot be denied. It is the power of calm confidence, the kind of energy that walks into a room without needing to shout, without needing to prove anything, without needing to show aggression. This is the power of being unbothered, of wearing confidence so naturally that no storm can shake you, no insult can move you, and no challenge can rattle your core. Power does not belong to the loud, it belongs to the calm. The person who is unbothered controls the game because they are impossible to manipulate. They cannot be baited into anger, they cannot be forced into desperation, and they cannot be shaken from their purpose. They remain steady when others collapse, focused when others lose themselves, and composed when others let their emotions rule them. That is true dominance. Being unbothered does not mean you are careless or numb. It means you are so grounded in who you are, so confident in your direction, that outside noise holds no weight against you. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who command respect without saying a word. They don't chase validation, they don't beg for attention, and they don't explode at every provocation. They move with an aura of stillness, and that stillness speaks louder than any display of force. When you wear unbothered confidence, you become untouchable, not because life gets easier, but because you refuse to let it control your spirit. The world is designed to test you. People will insult you, doubt you, mock you, and try to drag you into their chaos. Most people take the bait. They argue, they fight, they defend themselves endlessly, and in doing so, they waste their energy proving something to people who do not matter. But the one who is calm, who walks away with composure, who smiles at disrespect as if it were nothing, always wins. Because they understand a simple truth, your reaction determines your power. If someone can pull you into their chaos, they own you. But if you remain unbothered, you own yourself. And self-ownership is the highest form of strength. Unbothered confidence is not about ignoring reality. It is about controlling your response to it. Problems will come. Betrayals will happen. Struggles will appear. But the person who wears calm confidence faces these storms like the ocean faces the wind, waves on the surface, but depth untouched. They may bend, but they do not break. They may feel, but they do not lose themselves in emotion. And because of this, they can outlast anyone. The loud ones burn fast. The calm ones endure. The angry ones destroy themselves. The calm ones build empires. This is why power always belongs to the calm. When you walk with unbothered confidence, you intimidate without trying. People wonder what you know that they don't. Why nothing shakes you. Why? You carry yourself as if you already won before the battle begins. This quiet certainty unsettles others because they expect fear. They expect anger. They expect reaction. Instead, you give them stillness. And that stillness is terrifying to those who thrive on chaos. They cannot read you, they cannot control you, and they cannot weaken you. You become a mystery, and mystery always holds power. The truth is, people who are easily bothered live as slaves to their environment. If someone insults them, their day is ruined. If someone doubts them, their confidence crumbles. If someone mocks them, they spend hours or days trying to prove themselves. But those who master the art of being unbothered live differently. They know who they are, and no outside voice can redefine them. They know where they are going, and no distraction can pull them off course. They know their worth, and no insult can lower it. That kind of inner security cannot be touched, and that is what makes it so powerful. It takes discipline to reach that level of calm. Discipline to not react to every comment. Discipline to not argue over every disagreement. Discipline to walk away instead of fighting battles that are beneath you. But once you develop that discipline, you free yourself from the control of others. You stop living for their opinions and start living for your own mission. You stop being a puppet pulled by strings of validation and become the master of your destiny. Wearing unbothered confidence is not just about looking strong, it is about being free. Calmness is also magnetic. People are drawn to those who do not panic, who do not complain, who do not let emotions control them. In times of crisis, everyone looks for the calm one, the person who can think. Clearly, the person who holds steady when everyone else is falling apart. That is leadership. That is influence. The world trusts those who remain unbothered under pressure because it shows mastery. And mastery always commands respect. Understand this. Loud confidence is temporary, but unbothered confidence is permanent. Loud confidence is built on approval, but unbothered confidence is built on self-belief. Loud confidence needs validation, but unbothered confidence is self-sufficient. Which one do you think lasts longer? Which one do you think holds more power? It is always the calm. The person who does not need to prove themselves has already won the invisible battle most people never escape. Wearing unbothered confidence also gives you an advantage in every area of life. In relationships, you are not needy because you are not desperate for validation. In business, you are not reckless because you don't let fear or greed dictate your moves. In competition, you are not unstable because you don't get rattled by pressure. In life, you move steady, focused, unshaken. And that stability becomes your superpower. While others waste energy chasing approval, you conserve energy to build, to win, to rise. So when the world tries to test you, when people try to pull you into meaningless arguments, when life tries to shake your foundation, remember this, your greatest weapon is calm confidence. Wear it like armor. Let insults slide off you like rain. Let doubts pass through you like wind. Let chaos surround you, but never enter you, because the one who is calm in the storm is the one who controls the storm. Unbothered confidence is not arrogance. It is not pretending you don't care about anything. It is the quiet assurance that you can handle anything without losing yourself. It is the ability to walk into battle without fear, to face opposition without anger, to endure struggle without complaint. That is real power, and that power will always belong to the calm. So train yourself to be unbothered. Train yourself to stand tall without needing validation. Train yourself to remain calm when tested. The world will always try to shake you, but once you master calmness, nothing can move you. You will carry yourself like a rock in the ocean, like a mountain in the wind, like a fire that never flickers. And when people see that, they will know you cannot be broken, you cannot be moved, you cannot be controlled. You are calm, you are confident, and therefore you are powerful. In the end, life will never stop testing you. There will always be noise, there will always be doubters, there will always be chaos trying to pull you off balance. But the person who wears unbothered confidence walks above it all. They move like water, calm on the surface, powerful in depth. They don't waste their time proving themselves to people who don't matter, because their focus is fixed on the mission, not the distractions. That is why power belongs to the calm. The calm are not controlled by insults. The calm are not shaken by challenges. The calm do not fall apart when life gets heavy. They rise above because their energy is reserved for victory, not wasted on weakness. When you carry yourself with unbothered confidence, you teach the world that you cannot be owned, you cannot be broken, and you cannot be stopped. That is the kind of presence that turns respect into reverence and fear into admiration. So no matter what storm surrounds you, hold steady. Walk with silence, walk with control, walk with calm. Because in the end, the loud fade away, but the unbothered remain unshakable. And that is where true power lives.